Hi, this is Edward Troxel, and today we're going to finish up our relook at the remove gaps across multiple tracks, and this time we're going to do it without creating any markers or regions at all. And so with no regions at all, we don't have to worry about messing up any other regions that might be in the project. And so this one I think is actually more flexible than the 4-part tutorial, and we're finishing this one up in just 2 parts. So let's take a look at this one and see what changes we made to finish it. The first thing I've done on this one is added me 2 array lists to the top here. If you remember, we used an array list in the other one, and we're basically going to use the same array list that we used in the other one, but I'm defining it in the master area here so that any routine can access it. Then the next change is right here. In our add region to timeline, notice I've gotten rid of the string at the end because we don't need that information, and it was just there so that we could add a title to the region. So now if we go and look at our add region to timeline routine, instead of actually creating a region, what it is doing now is adding the starting position to the region start array, and it's adding the length to the region length array. So those are all being stored now in memory into these 2 array lists. Then finally, we've added this close gaps routine at the end of the main routine, which is almost identical to the one that we used in the previous one. There's only one difference. When we come down to this closed gap routine, we are now counting backwards through the region start.count -1, as long as we're greater than or equal to 0, then we're subtracting 1 each time through the loop. Now to get our positionings, our region start is converting to timecode from the region start array, getting the ith position. Once again, we're going backwards. And then to get our length, we're getting that from our region length array, getting the ith position and converting that to a timecode. And then we're doing the exact same thing that we did in the other script, going through each track, going through each event in that track. If the start is greater than the region start, then we're setting the start position equal to the start position minus the region length. So that part is exactly the same. So now the only difference is we're storing the region information into an array, and then we're using the region information to close the gaps. So let's see how it works. Seemed to have worked just fine on our first test one. Let's look at the second test one. There's our second test, which seems to have also worked just fine. And then our bigger test here. And that one also worked just fine. So in my opinion, we have now simplified this process tremendously. We're not creating any regions, so you can have other regions on the timeline and it's not going to confuse things. You can actually use your regions as you want to use them without needing to worry about, are my regions going to disappear? What is going to happen to my regions? So, like I said, I think this is a simplified version, and I kind of like it, the way it works. So let me know what you think. If you have any questions, let me know what questions you have. I'll see you in the next tutorial, and please subscribe.
Please sign up at www.JETDV.com and subscribe on YouTube to get further notifications on when new videos are presented.